to episode 3, season. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3, season 3 of Bloomington Buddies. Today we're going to be talking about college football week 2, NFL week 1, previewing college football week 3, maybe some baseball, and any other fun stories that come to light. Please welcome in the business, producer Jackson.
Yep, officially in the business now. Oh man, I'm not happy about what's going on with the electronics and everything. But once we get into the new studio, it's gonna be an upgrade. So look forward to the next episode.
All right, so let's quickly go over college football week 2 because it was a pretty entertaining week. I gotta pull up how we did on picks.
Honestly, I would say we did. I would say like it was a really entertaining week overall in terms of like
I would say
upsets, surprises and stuff like that. The big games lived up to the hype and everything this weekend.
Definitely.
This past weekend, I had, kid you not, 6 screens in my apartment.
Really?
We invited friends over and we got a bunch of different screens. We had like computers, we had any TVs that we had in the house, and then we had. Yeah, like basically anyone brought over their computer to bring up a new game. And
I watched pretty much all of the noon games, and then I was out and about during the 3:30 games because I had some friends out of town, and then I sat down by myself. I kind of let them do their own thing. I sat down by myself to watch the Bama-Texas game.
There you go.
Which was a really good game. So, record-wise, from the 26 games that we picked, I went 19-7, which is okay, not great. Jackson did 2 games better at 21-5. So I entered the week with a 3-game lead. I leave the week with a 1-game lead. I am 41-11 on the season. Jackson is 40-12.
Let's go.
So to recap some of the interesting games. Hold on. I got to go to week 2. We can talk about IU. I mean, they beat the brakes off of Indiana State.
I went to that game Friday night. Like, it was one of the very few games that I knew. I'm like, oh, yeah, we could definitely win this game. So let's go and let's have fun,
They were up 21-0 after the first and then kind of didn't really look that great the rest of the game. But,
I mean, they were fine. Yeah, the fact that we ended the first quarter with 21 was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Where was this against Ohio State? Like, if we had that type of offense against Ohio State, I guarantee you we win that game. Because our defense was fantastic. If we had our defense from week 1 and our offense from week 2 in that game against Ohio State,
the defense
I guarantee you we win that game.
The defense didn't allow any points. The only 7 that Indiana State got were off of a 90-yard fumble return.
Yeah, so I mean, the defense from either week, really.
I'm not taking away too much from this game, but
no, I'm not taking away too much.
Louisville in Indy. I'm going to be at that game in Indy.
You're going up to Indy for that one?
I'm going up to Indy for the game.
Okay.
My dad went to Louisville. He'll also be there, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ball State could not pull off the impossible. They did lose to Georgia 45-3.
We had that game on the entire time because
they had them tied in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I thought maybe my friends that were coming from out of town last weekend, they go to Ball State, so they were watching that game pretty intently.
One of my friends here at the media school, she's a massive Georgia fan, and so my roommate and I threw the Georgia game on one of the screens because we knew she would want to watch that, and she was. I mean. They won 45-3, but it was still like so funny to watch her lose her mind at parts of the game.
They didn't list these games in time order. They listed them like in order by ranking, so it's like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So 2, Michigan all over UNLV, 35-7. Not much to talk about there. Bama, Texas. This was a game.
Oh, I'm shocked that you're bringing this one up this early, but all right, yeah.
It's just because it goes in ranking order. So Georgia's 1, Michigan's 2, Bama's 3.
Yeah.
So. I picked Texas and they won, and I'm very I
think I picked Bama for this one, right? God damn it.
I don't like Texas because they're the only school that rejected me, but they're a good team, man. I will say I knew their offense would show up, and they did towards the back half. Xavier Worthy was making plays. I will say though, the Texas defense looked a lot better than I thought they would.
Yeah.
Texas's defense has been the downfall of a lot of their teams, and they came to play. I mean, this was an even game throughout. Bama kind of couldn't really get anything going on offense. They only scored 6 in the first half, and they scrapped up 18 in the second half. But, I mean, I will say it, Jalen Milroe, the quarterback for Alabama, he's got to get better. I think if they have Bryce Young for another year, they win that game. Because Jalen Milroe, I think these are issues that he can fix throughout the year. I'm not saying they should bench him and put in whoever they have behind him. But there were points of times during that game where he would get the ball and immediately just look to run.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even, like, if he had to make a second read, if his first read wasn't there, he looked to run. Like, he just couldn't make a second read.
Yeah, genuinely just, like, I can't tell what's going on. Like, if certain teams are getting better or if like, the league overall is just getting worse. I don't know. Like, that may sound harsh. It might be a little bit of both, but it's exciting to see, smaller teams that haven't had much success like Texas before, like, to finally start to see some progress, against the major teams like Alabama, And honestly, I'm just saying that more just because I like to watch Alabama fall,
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are they ranked at now? I don't
They're
even
ranked
know.
10, which seems pretty high,
Yeah.
if you ask me. They're one spot ahead of Tennessee, which...
I think 10's appropriate because it's not like Alabama lost to, Duke. So
Clemson lost to Duke.
So I mean, like the fact that Clemson went from number 9 to 25 was appropriate.
And now
for
they're
that
not
ranking.
even. Now
But now,
Clemson
and Clemson isn't even in the top 25
but
anymore. So
I'll tell you right now, if you look at Texas's schedule, the rest of the road, it's pretty easy. They got Wyoming, Baylor, Kansas, Oklahoma, Houston, BYU, Kansas State, and TCU are their 2 hard games.
Yeah.
And then Iowa State, Texas Tech. There's a really good chance they just go 12-0.
It's possible. I would honestly be excited for them. I mean, because I have nothing against Texas or anything like that. I mean, I don't love them or anything, but it's like, okay, that'd be cool, to see that.
For Bama, they got Ole Miss at home after this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then they eventually have Tennessee and LSU at home. If I were a betting man, I probably wouldn't bet on them to finish the rest of the year undefeated.
I do feel bad for the Longhorns just because, like, I feel like a lot of the suspense of the season is gone because, like you said, a lot of their tougher games are out of the way.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, there's still some competition to be
at
like
TCU
going up against
will be
them.
tough. Kansas State will be tough.
But I mean, that's part of the reason why I like Michigan's schedule so much is because like the beginning is easy. Like it's not just this year, but it's every
Michigan never
year.
schedules anyone hard out of conference like ever.
Well, I mean, does anybody really? But
Michigan will schedule
the intensity ramps up as the schedule goes on, and like that's what's exciting for me.
And Michigan, like I think sometimes works to their advantage, but like basically every year they don't even play like a Power 5 team out of conference. Like at least play like Virginia Tech or something.
Okay, well, you could say that to Georgia too. I mean,
yeah, Georgia is also in this. I will say Georgia's also the same way. All right. Florida State,
2-time reigning national champs, and they're
Florida State 66-14 over Southern Miss. They're looking good, looking real good. I would definitely pick them at Clemson in a few weeks. Ohio State with another struggle win.
It's
35-7 over Youngstown State, a game they did not start well. Youngstown State hung around for the first quarter. I mean, that. I'm concerned about Ohio State because basically all the same issues that they had against Indiana came up again.
Like I'm just as concerned as you are, honestly, about Ohio State, and like I don't care at all about Ohio State.
Neither do I.
But
if they lost, I would have.
Yeah. So I mean,
funny.
But yeah, we were watching this game on Saturday with my roommate and a few of my friends, and like we were watching the game, and like. Yeah, just the way that like the offense would attack and stuff like that. We were watching the game and finally my roommate just goes, "This is a bad football team. Like it's not as good as everyone says that it is." You know,
their ranking the people that are in charge of the rankings they've dropped another spot. They dropped to 6. USC and Texas are now ahead of them.
So I mean, it's not like. I mean, for them, it's not like it's the end of the world or anything. I mean, in the end, they're still 2-0 and everything. And Kyle McCord is officially named the starting quarterback for them. So he will be getting the rest of the starts for the remainder of the season.
I'll tell you right now, I'd be feeling really shaky about that game at Notre Dame in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm going to be watching that game closely because I'm curious to see where it goes.
Notre Dame went out and blew out NC State on the road. Blowout road win over a usually pretty good Power 5 team.
Like I've been saying, like by the time that game comes around, damn well I'm gonna be the biggest Fighting Irish fan. that day.
I don't know. I despise both teams.
I hate them both.
I don't know who I'd root for. Honestly.
I hate them both, but I'd much rather see Notre Dame win than Ohio State.
I think I'd root for Ohio State. I can't.
Seriously?
I can't stand Notre Dame. I can't stand.
I don't like them either, but you'd rather Ohio State and Ryan Day win that game?
I don't know. Looks better for the Big Ten.
I mean, it's cooler for the Michigan-Ohio State matchup in the end if we're both undefeated, obviously. Yeah. But I mean,
I think
we've already had 2 years, or no, not 2 years in a row. Actually, just last year. Like last year, we got the opportunity to break their undefeated season, which was awesome. So I already know that feeling. It's like, okay,
yeah, I don't know. All right, USC, Penn State, Washington, all blew out their little opponents. They all look really good. I'm not gonna go too much into them. Tennessee, 30-13 over the P.
Yeah,
I was pretty disappointed.
Yeah,
I mean it was 13-6 at half. It was a 10-point game in the fourth. I mean, I'm gonna chalk this up to they were looking ahead to Florida, and it was like first game home jitters. Yeah. But you gotta beat the P by more, man.
Yeah.
Like that.
I mean, I don't know if I'm willing to chalk it up to much right now is the thing.
I mean, this is an Austin P team that lost 49-23 to Southern Illinois.
I remember it was looking interesting at one point because, again, we had 6 screens up at one time, and we had this game on at, a little small one, and I was looking, I'm like, oh, it's actually kind of close.
As a Tennessee fan, I was a little concerned. They dropped 2 spots in the rankings for that, but, I mean, ultimately they won, but... I am going to need that to be fixed. Please don't struggle with a team like that again. I will say, I think they get it together at Florida. I think they get it together. All right, we already talked about Notre Dame. Utah, Baylor. Oh, my goodness, this game was weird. This game was so weird because Utah doesn't know what quarterback they want to use on any given play. Then they couldn't score the whole game. And then Baylor goes out in the fourth quarter with a 7-point lead and gets 4 yards the whole quarter. I'll tell you right now, I think Dave Aranda's seat is as hot as any coach in America. They've lost now 5 games in a row dating back to last year.
There were a lot of games this weekend, including this one, where in the end, after we were done watching it, we would put it up on the big screen just because it was the most interesting game that we had on at the time. And there were a lot of times throughout this weekend where I would just say to myself, they should not feel good about that win. If it was a ranked opponent going against an unranked opponent and they came out on top, it was that was a good game. It was a fun game and everything, but they should not feel good about that.
The thing is, though,
win.
is these are the games that Utah likes to win. And you could say Baylor, they were preparing. The reason they lost to Texas State is because they were prepping for Utah. And I guess that kind of showed because they came out with a pretty good game plan. But I don't know. I don't think I'd be too worried about Utah after this game.
Yeah.
Because Oregon beat Texas Tech on the road.
I mean,
struggled a little bit, but
Final score 38-30.
This is almost the exact same game. It's pretty much the exact same game because Texas Tech lost week 1 to Wyoming because they were prepping for Oregon, and then they came out with a good game plan, but they still won. I'm going to give Oregon and Utah passes for that because
I don't know, man.
Road game, long travel in Tech. They were both in Texas. I'm giving them a pass.
All right.
LSU 70-10 over Grambling, good job. Kansas State 42-13 over Troy, good job. Oregon State 55-7 over UC Davis, good job. North Carolina 40-34 against App State in double overtime.
Another example where I was like, North Carolina should not feel good about that win. That was
App State's always tough, but yeah, they won. I'll take a bad win over a pretty loss any day.
Well, obviously.
Oklahoma 28-11 over SMU. That was a closer game than that score indicates. Oklahoma, they're not that great, man. I feel like they will once again get embarrassed by Texas.
You think so?
Washington State pulled it out at home against Wisconsin. That was one of the picks that I got right. Wisconsin, they're just not that great anymore. They're just not. I will say give Luke Fickell some time to get some recruits in. But for this year, they're not scaring anyone. IU plays them at home. I think IU will have a chance. I don't know if they'll win, but I think they'll have a chance.
Maybe.
Washington State, they're still part of the 2-pack. So we'll see. See about them. Ole Miss, Tulane, man, I thought Tulane was going to pull this one out. They were leading at half.
Did I pick Tulane for this one, I think?
I think you did.
I think I did, yeah. But, like, yeah, I was so hoping Tulane could pull this one off. I was feeling good about it.
Yeah, at half, they're up 17-10, and the wheels just came off. Ole Miss. I will chalk this up in the good win category for Ole Miss. This is a ranked team on the road. This is a legit Tulane team. Good win for Ole Miss. Maybe they contend with the Bamas and LSUs of the world for the SEC West. We'll have to see. Year 3 under Lane Kiffin, maybe they do that. Duke 42-7 over Lafayette. Good job. Colorado blew out Nebraska. Now, we could talk about Colorado in a second, but I will say this is a bad number. This is once again a bad Nebraska team. They suck.
It's not good. It's not good. I'm like 99% sure I picked Colorado for this one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, especially like going on the road and everything, it's with the most hyped up team in the country.
That was the most hyped up home game for a team.
Oh, my God.
In the history of history. And they showed out, man. 36-14. I mean, this game was never really in question.
I think it was on the Joel Klatt show, but like, yeah, I'm pretty sure more people tuned into this game, for this Colorado game on TV than they did for Alabama-Texas this week.
I watched both of them.
In terms of like sheer numbers on the broadcast, I'm pretty sure,
Colorado people want to see Coach Prime, man. Colorado's. I will say Colorado, they have Colorado State this week, and then they have Oregon, USC back-to-back. That's going to be the true test to see if they're really a legit team, I feel like. Next we have, this was embarrassing, dude.
That's crazy.
Once again, embarrassing. Texas A&M blown out at Miami.
Whoa.
48-33. Miami.
Blown out is not that's not the right term. The fact that they were able to put up...
It was 41-26 in the fourth, and then it ended.
I agree it's an embarrassing
loss. This is a humiliating loss because A&M last year, top recruiting class in the history of history. Ever they had the best class. They went 5-7. But they still beat Miami. Even in that 5-7 season, they still beat Miami. But still, half those players transfer out. Okay, they bring in Bobby Petrino. Ooh, maybe we'll have some sort of an offense. Because last year they were all defense, no offense. So all their good defensive players transfer out. Oh, Bobby Petrino's going to save the team. Oh, they're ranked again? Why the hell were they ranked again? They had no reason they should have been ranked again. But you still thought they'd be better than Miami. Because Miami has been awful the last 2 years. But you know what? They're better than Texas A&M. And Miami fans are already overreacting about how they're going to be real. Miami's ranked now. They shouldn't be. Miami still won't be anything good. But A&M is an embarrassment, and they will finish near the bottom of the SEC. Again, this was humiliating.
It's tough. I agree that it's not a good look, obviously, but I don't think it's the right term to say they were blown out. Like, they still put up 33 points, you know. Like,
you can put up as many points as you want. You got to stop someone.
Obviously, yeah.
They're now going to be the polar opposite of what they were last year. They're going to have a good offense because of Bobby Petrino running the OC. They're not even run on defense. So no one's going to want to come there. Texas is coming to the SEC. They're going to take all their recruits. Rough times are ahead for A&M, I'm telling you. They're really going to suffer from Texas coming to the SEC. Clemson beat... they were tied at half, or they were losing at one point to Charleston Southern. They got it together, but I don't even know if Clemson's worth talking about the rest of the year.
66-17 final score, and they still got kicked out of the top 25 and replaced by Iowa.
Yeah. Other interesting games. Purdue beat Virginia Tech. That was a good rebound game for Purdue. Virginia Tech is bad.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's not great.
They're bad.
They're not great.
But good win for Purdue. Good rebound. It's a road game. Hard to play there.
We'll say favorite game probably of the day. Probably not the favorite game of the weekend or anything like that, but a really, really fun game to watch. Arizona versus Mississippi State. I don't know if you caught that game.
I didn't watch any of that.
Very, very fun game. Went into overtime at the very end. Mississippi State came out on top, 31-24, I believe. But yeah,
Arizona's been a team that's been horrifyingly bad these last few years.
It's weird.
Are they better than we thought they were, or is Mississippi State worse than we thought they were?
I mean, I'd say Arizona State was better than we thought that they were going to be in that game. But, I mean, they still came out with the loss, you know. So, I mean, it was still a really fun game, though. It was really good.
I just realized Southern Illinois beat Northern Illinois, which is going to be important later. Anyway, so I just got an email. It's nothing. I don't care about it. I don't care about the Indiana Daily Student for the most part. Sometimes they send some interesting stuff, but I don't even know what they're talking about here. All right, let's make some picks for week 3. Week 3, I will say, is pretty light. Week 4 is a banger of a week.
Week 4 is going to be good.
There are some crazy good games week 4. Like, I bet you the top 4 or 5 week 4 games would be the best game this week.
Probably.
But there are still some decent ones.
Holy shit. I'm looking at the week 3 schedule right now, and then it's Bethune-Cookman versus at Miami. First game.
I didn't put that on the
No. I'm just saying, I'm looking at the ticket prices. They put ticket prices as low as $2 to go to that game.
Because no one, even then, even when Miami's ranked, their stadium isn't even on campus. Miami needs to care more about football if they want to be better. I know they just beat A&M and they're ranked. They won't be ranked by the end of the year. They'll lose to someone and they'll lose to they'll lose to probably Virginia or something.
I've never seen an event with tickets as low as $2 before with as big of a program as that.
But they don't even have a stadium campus. They play at the Dolphins Stadium.
I know.
It's always half empty. And they're playing the Buffoons. Come on. All right. Pick time.
All right.
First game, I think this is Friday. We have Virginia at Maryland.
Let's see. What's even Virginia's record? They're 0-2.
Virginia has looked bad.
Yeah, Virginia's 0-2. Maryland's 2-0. Give me Maryland. Plus, it's at home.
I'm telling you, Maryland is going to upset someone in the Big Ten East. They're going to upset one of the 3. The 3 being Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. They're going to upset one of the 3.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you. I think they play Ohio State at home. With how bad OSU's been, I've seen them struggle at Maryland before.
I mean, out of all 3 teams, Ohio State seems like the likely one right now because if Penn State's playing hot, I mean, Michigan's looking the same as they have been, you know?
I'm actually going to look. Which one do they get at home? Oh, they get Penn State, Michigan at home. They play Ohio State on the road.
Oh, they play Ohio State on the road. Okay.
So, I don't know. Next game, Louisville against Indiana at Lucas Oil Stadium. Does IU? They're 10-point dogs. Do they pull off the upset?
They're favored by 10 points?
No, IU's 10-point underdogs.
Oh, okay, underdog. I thought you said just 10-point dogs. I was like,
yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
10-point dogs being underdogs.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now, I'm taking Louisville.
Yeah, I'm taking Louisville.
Because I'm telling you,
I know it's home game, quote unquote. But it's not.
Dude, Louisville will pull fans.
Yeah, they are.
They will.
They'll show out.
I'm willing to bet they'll probably have more fans there than IU does.
I don't know. I got a bunch of friends that are going up to the game this weekend. I unfortunately can't make it this weekend, so.
Yeah. I'm driving up a bunch of people. My friend was like, "Yo, my boy." And a bunch of his boys are going to the game, and I told them that you could take them if he said I told them that you could take them if they pay you. I was like, all right, I'll take them
if they pay you.
I'm like,
they pay for gas.
They give me gas money. I'll take them wherever they want.
Yeah.
Funny story. So a kid on one of the IU stories posted. One day, it was like before Labor Day weekend. He was like, "Can anyone drive me to the airport at 4:30 in the morning?"
Jesus,
or something.
Be there at 4:30 in the morning.
No, leave Bloomington at 4:30.
God,
dang, so here's the thing.
Way.
So here's the thing. I reply. I go $100. I'll do it. And he goes, okay. So I'm like, oh, now I gotta do it.
Yeah, now you have to do it.
So I picked him up at 4:30 in the morning and drove him to the airport, and then got back at 6:30 and went back to bed.
$100 is $100.
He paid me and everything. But my friend's like, Quincy, this is how people get killed, bro. He's like, what if you pick him up and he just goes, drive? And then my friend goes,
you give me $100.
And then my friend goes, Quincy, he's probably he's probably more scared of you than you are of him.
God.
And my friend's like, what are you going to do if he doesn't pay you? I'm like, then I'm not leaving. Like, I'm not going to go if he doesn't pay me.
No, I'm not getting on the road until he pays me.
This guy was like super chill though. He was like, I picked him up, he paid me, and I just took him. He was chill, totally.
Was it on like IU Classified or something? Or what?
It was off the IU Snapchat story. Kids, be careful when giving people rides, because
don't pick up hitchhikers. For
it worked.
Love of God, don't pick up hitchhikers.
It worked for me, but don't do it unless you like know they're an IU student. It was off the IU story. Anyway, Florida State at Boston College. Florida State's gonna win.
Florida State, yeah.
Penn State at Illinois.
Penn State.
Big noon kickoffs coming
Penn
to
State.
Champaign, but I think Penn State will
Illinois
still blow
bad.
out. LSU, Mississippi State. I mean, if Mississippi State was struggling with Arizona.
Yeah, so give me LSU. I mean, the Mississippi State-Arizona game was a lot of fun, but yeah, give me LSU for that one.
Kansas State at Missouri.
Kansas State.
I hope we don't agree with like every game, but
I mean, if it's an obvious pick, I mean,
Missouri's okay, but I'm still going to take Kansas State. Iowa State at Ohio. Interesting kind of Power 5, Group of 5 road game. Iowa State is favored by 2.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go Iowa State.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't think Ohio's going to be that great.
They're on they got 2 wins the past 2 weeks, but yeah, nothing.
All right.
Nothing great.
Central Michigan, Notre Dame. I'm going to take Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
USC, Georgia, South Carolina, USC.
I was like, wait, what?
I just have them abbreviated on here.
Yeah, Georgia.
I think Georgia wins. I would have said this could be a close game if South Carolina didn't come out and get embarrassed by North Carolina that first week. Because South Carolina kind of has the tendency to upset teams. They beat Georgia when they were ranked 3 one year. They beat Tennessee last year when they were about to go to the playoff.
The fact that they're going to Georgia, though, it's like, yeah, no. Give me
Alabama at South Florida. Kind of interesting that it's a road game.
Bama
will win. San Diego State at Oregon State.
I feel like I want to pick an underdog this week, but like
Oregon State will beat them.
Yeah, Oregon State's gonna win this one. Like this week is kind of
all right. Yeah. Oklahoma at Tulsa. I tried to pick the best games.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Oklahoma at Tulsa, probably Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah.
All right. Minnesota at North Carolina. This game is going to come down to whose style comes forward. Because Minnesota's going to try to win the game 17-14, and North Carolina's going to try to win the game 45-42.
Yeah.
I think UNC gets it at home. It's a far travel for Minnesota. I like UNC in this game.
God, I want to be brave and take Minnesota, but God, because Minnesota's 2-0, right? Yeah, they're 2-0. Yeah, they beat Nebraska and they beat East Michigan. No, give me UNC.
Okay.
Give me UNC.
Next, Duke and Northwestern.
Duke.
This is easy. Northwestern sucks. I think they actually did beat UTEP last week, but they're still bad.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they did beat UTEP 38-7, but it's still Northwestern.
All right. Virginia Tech at Rutgers. I'm still under the belief that this is a bad Virginia Tech team. I think Rutgers will be. Despite how good or not good Rutgers may be, it's hard to believe I think they're better than Virginia Tech. I think Rutgers wins.
I mean, this could be my one bold pick, but, well, they lost to Purdue last week, so no, give me Rutgers.
Okay. Western Kentucky, Ohio State. Do they come out and struggle again? I mean, probably.
I didn't think they would last week, but they still came out and weren't looking solid, you know.
Yeah.
But obviously, again, I'm biased.
We'll see.
So.
Northern Illinois at Nebraska.
Oh, you're way down. Okay. was thinking, oh, well, maybe Northern Illinois, but no, they just lost to
Southern Illinois.
To Southern Illinois last week, so it's like, nah, I don't know about that.
All right.
Yeah, give me Nebraska.
I will say I'm riding this one out.
You're gonna ride this one out?
I'm taking the Huskies. This is a team that beat Boston College week 1.
Okay.
They're normally one of the better Group of 5 teams.
This will be the tiebreaker game then for us.
And
not tiebreaker.
My buddy goes to Northern Illinois, and I'm not betting against them. They're normally a really good team. My grandparents also met each other there.
Oh, nice.
So, and this Nebraska team is once again just not very good.
They're not very good, but
I'm rocking with the Huskies.
They're not very good, but I think they're due for a win at some point, and I think this week's going to be it. So, give me Nebraska.
They did lose to Georgia Southern at home last year.
Yeah.
So, maybe. Colorado State at Colorado. I will say, Colorado State is horrifyingly bad. They'll get up for this game, though. They'll get up for this game because this is their Super Bowl.
There we go, Colorado State at Colorado. The thing is,
what's the spread? Do you have a spread on there?
I don't have the spread. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see. Colorado's favorite by 23.5.
Yeah, they'll probably cover that. I was about to say if it's like 40, pick like Colorado State to cover, but that's still a lot of points. That's still not. I think they'll. No,
yeah, give me Coach Prime for this one. The thing is like I feel like I've talked a lot of crap about Coach Prime.
You picked him week 1,
but no, I've picked him every single week. I've picked him every single week so far. I've talked a lot of crap, but at the same time, I've picked him every single week. So like I don't even know how I'm feeling about it.
All right,
every single week, primetime spot on ESPN. I'm pretty sure.
TCU at Houston. TCU, I think Houston. I think TCU is gonna rebound and get back in the top 25 eventually. Like that loss to Colorado.
What did they do last week? Oh, they
blew out a nobody or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go with it. Yeah.
You're taking TCU.
Give me TCU.
All right, Ole Miss at Georgia Tech at Ole Miss. Georgia Tech's not good. They're just not good.
Give me Ole Miss.
All right.
Is it really just going to be the one game that we differ on?
Maybe. The last two.
Probably.
The last two we might. BYU at Arkansas.
Where's that one at? BYU.
Honestly, when it comes to next week's episode, we might not even recap week 3. We might just go straight into previewing week 4.
God. I mean, I'm going to take Arkansas.
All right. Next, we got Syracuse at Purdue.
Did you take Arkansas for that one?
Yeah, I'm taking Arkansas.
Okay, sorry. What was the next one then?
Syracuse at Purdue. I think Purdue's going to win it. Syracuse hasn't looked bad to start, but I think Purdue's coming back home after a good win. I think Purdue.
I mean, obviously they didn't play many guys, but Syracuse blew out the other teams they played. They won 65-zip first week. They played Colgate, and then week 2 they played Western Michigan 48-7. I might take Syracuse for this one.
You gonna do it?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Syracuse. I mean, just based off how they've been playing, I mean, it looks like their offense has been pretty
They beat Purdue last
elite.
year at home.
They did beat them at home, so they're playing them again at home this week? Damn.
No, last year Syracuse won.
Syracuse was at home. Okay.
Last year Syracuse won in the
I thought
dome.
you meant Purdue was at home last year.
They beat the Big Ten West. That's such gonna be like a running joke. It's like they beat the Big Ten West champions.
Oh yeah, and like the thing is like I'm an IU student, but I genuinely like don't really care about Purdue like at all. Like I don't hate them or anything, but like I kind of have to root against them when it comes to my status.
Next huge rivalry. This is I think a coin flip game. Pitt at West Virginia, the backyard brawl. Both these teams are 1-1. Who you got in this one?
Golly. Pitt at West Virginia, both 1-1. It's not that far of a travel, so.
I mean, they're in each other's backyard.
Pitt lost to Cincy last week. Damn.
That was one of the games you got right that I got wrong. You picked Cincy.
Let's go. Go Cats. I might go with.
I'm taking Pitt.
I might go with Pitt too, but you
know
what? Just for the sake of differences and having different picks, I'll go with West Virginia.
All right.
Home game. Why not?
Next, the mighty Wyoming Cowboys, off of their Week 1 upset victory against Texas Tech, now have to go on the road to play the Longhorns.
The number 4 Longhorns.
Do they have a chance?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so at all. Give me Texas.
I think maybe they have I think this could be like a letdown game, and maybe Wyoming hangs around for a little bit, but I don't think they'll win. All right.
McConaughey was on the Pat McAfee show live during the game on the sidelines.
Oh, okay.
And when they scored the first time, he just went crazy. He and McAfee just both went insane. It was hysterical.
All right. 2 featured games. This is, I think, going to be the hard. This is, I think, was an incredibly. Actually, not really, because, okay, Washington at Michigan State. I'll give you an interesting little storyline from this. So, coming into this game last year, this is a home and home. This is the second year of a home and home.
Yeah.
Michigan State was in the top 10 after a really good year the previous year.
They were? Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the year they
fell off the map last year.
That was the year they beat Michigan. And they had to come up to play Washington. And Washington went like 4-8 the year before. Washington had a terrible year.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy how much the roles have reversed.
And Washington blew them. Top 10 Michigan State got blown out by Washington. And now it's the complete opposite. Washington comes into MSU as the top 10 team, and Michigan State is the team that really, I mean, Michigan State lost to Indiana last year. That shows you how bad they are.
Yeah.
But
last year was not good for Michigan State.
Does Michigan State, they've already started off 2-0. Granted, it being against nobodies, but they are 2-0. I know you're not a big fan of Michigan State, but do they hold a chance against Washington? They're 16-point home underdogs. 16 points.
I think they're 16-point underdogs. Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they still got a chance because I'm honestly shocked that Washington is ranked number 8. Because the teams that they've played so far have not been stellar. Played Boise State and Tulsa.
Well, they were 10 to start the year.
They were 10. Yeah, they were 10.
And what?
So, I mean,
2 teams ahead of them lost?
And I mean, obviously, like, Michigan hasn't played anybody.
Well, like, Clemson and Bama
but they're
lost
still ranked number 2. So, I mean, it's like, I can't really go based off of that. I'm still gonna go with Washington. I say they win, but I do think Michigan State has a chance, possibly.
I said Washington 35-28. I think it'll be a close game, but then Washington will pull away in the 4th.
I think it'll be a much more fun game than people think it's gonna be.
Yeah. And then lastly, big rivalry between me and my buddy that's a Florida fan. Second Saturday in September, third Saturday, whatever. Tennessee, I think, yeah, it's third Saturday in September. Tennessee at Florida. Does Tennessee get their first win in the swamp since like early 2000s? Because it's been a while since they've won there.
I think they do. Yeah.
I agree. Florida just doesn't have it this year. This will be a good game because it's a rivalry game. Both teams will get up for it. But
yeah, last week was a little scary for Tennessee, just given the fact that they only won 30-13. But I think they put it in the rearview mirror. And
some people are saying Joe Milton's first true road start. I mean, it'll be a true road environment, but not a good team he's playing. I think Tennessee will end up winning. So we only disagreed on 2 games: Pitt, West Virginia, and Northern Illinois, Nebraska.
So
I could have just.
So you're either going to be back to winning by 3 next week, or I'll be up by 1, or we'll be. Can we be tied after that? If you win.
No, because.
No, we can't be tied after that. No. So.
We'll see. I don't know. If
either we'll remain the same, you'll be up by 3, or I'll be up by 1. Right?
Yeah, because I don't know. The safe pick is to pick Nebraska, but I like to live dangerously. I'm taking Northern Illinois. All right, we could talk about the NFL. Just because I know you're gonna want to talk about it, I'll start with it. How did you like the Anthony Richardson debut?
I was very pleased with Anthony Richardson's debut. A lot of strange coaching staff decisions. In the beginning, we went for it a lot. Instead of punting it away, we went for it on 4th down a lot. And the first time I liked it because we were like, all right, we're aggressive, we didn't get it. It's like, okay, it's still early in the game. It's whatever, But then we did it again the very next drive. It's like, okay, guys, let's start punting the ball, please, because otherwise we're going to let this game get away from us. And then there were so many times throughout the game where, like, yeah, just the coaching staff's decisions just didn't quite make much sense at all, The final drive of the game, final 2 minutes, we're driving down the field and we get a 4th down and we go for it again. But really, my roommate and all my friends and I, we were like, just kick the ball, take the 3 points and onside kick it and hope you can get the onside. Or, like, play top-notch defense. Like, our defense was, like, that day. I mean, it was okay. It was fine. It was whatever. Not great. Probably not even good. But, yeah, I was in terms of Anthony Richardson, I was very, very happy with what I saw, and I was very mad when he got injured. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think he's out or anything for a while. Like
so.
I think
he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine. I think. Well, let me just look it up here. But yeah, you go ahead.
I mean, I don't really have much to say. I didn't really watch much of this game. Unless you have more to say, I can go off on the Bears.
I mean, here, let me just look it up real quick. I'm trying to find his injury because he left on the sideline. I think he was maybe limping. I can't remember. I honestly don't. So, yeah, it is indicated that he suffered a knee injury, but post-game comments, they downplayed the severity of the situation. I'm all right. More so hurt that we lost than my knee.
Oh.
But other than that, I'm good,
That's
he said. Sweet. So, I mean, yeah, I think
more
it's
so
fine.
hurt than we lost. That's so sweet.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. Like, my roommate got a Richardson jersey, like, the day before the game, and he was pumped. So.
I have 2 Justin Fields jerseys.
Whew. You got 2.
Okay, so one of them was free. So one of them, I bought one when he got drafted. And then one of them, my uncle won at like, a raffle.
Yeah.
It was too small for him.
Yeah.
So he just gave it to me. So I only paid for one of them. Nonetheless, this team sucks again. Oh my God. That was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Okay, you could go through all of the games. Like, okay, there were a lot of teams. There were a lot of teams that had embarrassing week 1 losses. I'll just run through a few. Pittsburgh, 30-7 against San Francisco. That was embarrassing. You didn't even put up a fight. New York and Dallas, 40-0. The Giants lost. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Buffalo putting up 16 points on a Jets team without Aaron Rodgers. That was embarrassing. Minnesota losing to the Bucks.
A lot of, like, weird
Minnesota losing to the Bucks at home.
Lost to the Lions.
That was embarrassing. Chiefs, they didn't have Kelsey. I'll give them a pass. It was still pretty embarrassing. None of them are as embarrassing as the Bears losing to Green Bay. That was horrible. You finally do not have to deal with Aaron Rodgers. You have to deal with Jordan Love, who is not that great. He's just not. But Green Bay did whatever they wanted in the second half. That was the most pitiful half of football I've ever seen. Luke Getsy is the worst offensive coordinator that football may have ever seen. Because the whole game, run to the left, run to the right, screen pass. Run to the left, run to the right, screen pass. You have Justin Fields, who was known at Ohio State for bombing the ball deep with great accuracy. They finally get a deep threat receiver in DJ Moore. Guess how many times they threw? Guess how many passes Justin Fields had of 10+ air yards the whole game?
Oh, God. How many yards?
How many passes he had of 10+ yards? Like in the air.
5.
He had 3. And they were to DJ Moore on 2 of them. 2 of them were to DJ Moore on back-to-back plays. And what happened? He caught 2 of them for 2 first downs. And they said, oh, no, we're just going to keep running fucking screens the whole game.
Honestly, the screen pass is probably the dumbest play ever invented.
I
understand
I'm not
how
opposed
it can
to
work, but the fact that, like,
I'm not opposed to the screen. I like the screen, like, in general. But when you run it every fucking play, they see it coming.
That's the thing. Is like, I wouldn't mind it as much if people didn't play it as much.
Like, I run halfback slip screen in Madden. It works sometimes, but you have to. Oh, God. They were so bad. And the defense was this is the first. I think this is the first time I think I've ever seen a Chicago Bears defense just be bad. They were bad. They were so bad. Aaron Jones was running wherever he wanted to. I mean, they were bad. They were so bad. Jordan Love was just open 5-yard slant, open 5-yard, open gap up the middle. It's like it wasn't even like he had to try to make space or anything. It was just there. There were just plays open for him to make. Like I was, oh my God, they lost. This was supposed to be the year they surpassed the Packers. They get embarrassed again, 38-20, and it really should have been 38. It really should have been 38-14. But they scored a meaningless touchdown with 2 minutes to go. Oh my goodness, that was awful, absolutely awful. I'll be surprised if they win 4 games. Justin Fields, I mean, he was making some awful reads, throwing it like directly to the defense. He sucked. I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to say he's not that guy yet. He might not be that guy. I mean, oh my goodness, they might win like 4 games max. Yeah. Oof. They were bad.
Yeah.
They were bad. They were so bad.
Not great.
I've had it.
I will
had
say,
it with the damn Bears.
I didn't tune in as much on Sunday after I did Saturday, just because literally Saturday I was there all day watching football.
Yeah.
So
I went to my buddy's place for the Bears game, and oh my goodness, they were bad. I had Packers fans texting me the whole game. Fuck, dude, I'm so fed up. I don't know if you have any other games you want to talk about in the NFL.
I mean, do you want to talk about the elephant in the room?
What's the elephant in the room?
Aaron Rodgers out for the year. New York Jets. I mean,
the fact that
they still won the game,
and the fact that a former Bear injured him. Oh my goodness, Leonard Floyd. But the Bills also looked bad. The 4 of us that live, of the 4 of us, my 3 roommates, 3 of us are Bears fans, 1's a Bills fan. And he was like, dude, he was going off on Josh Allen like the whole game, because Josh Allen also looked bad.
Yeah. He wasn't good, man. I don't know.
I'd be concerned. The Jets do have a great defense, but I'd be concerned if I was a Bills fan.
3 biggest games that I was like kind of disappointed in the teams. Yeah. Chiefs at Lions. I was disappointed in the Chiefs. It's like, really? Like, I was so excited though for Detroit, because it's like,
I'll give the Chiefs a huge pass.
Win for
I'll
them,
give the Chiefs a pass because
they don't have Kelsey.
They didn't have Kelsey, but like Detroit, Detroit's still a pretty good team. Also,
but still,
Kadarius Toney is terrible. They win that game if Kadarius Toney has hands. That was terrible. The fact that he didn't get cut after that game was surprising.
I mean, yeah, but still, like, so Chiefs against the Lions is disappointed in. The Bills just, didn't look good. I was hoping it was going to be a better game. I mean, I didn't care that they lost. Like, if they lost with Aaron Rodgers still as quarterback, it's like, okay.
And if you're a Jets fan,
the Jets are good, you know.
If you're a Jets fan, you might be, there are probably some Jets fans that are like, oh, well, we'll still be pretty good with Zach Wilson. We still beat the Bills.
Well,
you're not.
You had Zach Wilson last year, and everybody wanted him out of there.
You're not going far with this team. And here's the thing. I said they wouldn't make the playoffs with Rodgers. I said they're going to be just like last year's Broncos. And, I mean, I will say that's a really good defense. They might be able to get to the playoffs just on the back of their defense, but they're still not going anywhere, in my opinion.
But the last one, obviously, big disappointment before we move on. Yeah, Bengals at the Browns.
Oh, I didn't even mention that.
The Bengals were bad.
Here's the thing, though.
They were bad.
Like, okay,
right after they
looked bad, but you know that they have the potential to turn it around.
You know they do, but it was just so shocking to be like, really? You lost 24-3.
Joe Burrow sold my fantasy team, bro.
Against the Browns after you just made Joe Burrow one of the highest paid athletes in sports, you know? Like,
I don't know how many of y'all know about Ghetto Gronk. He posts the best like NFL memes. One of them was like Joe Burrow after signing the biggest contract ever. He's like, when it comes to legalized bank robbing, I'm one of the best, or something like that.
When it comes to legalizing bank robbing.
When it comes to legalized bank robbing, I'm one of the best. But yeah, embarrassing.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't have much to contribute for the NFL, honestly.
It was kind of a slow,
like I said, I was at my place like hosting people all day Saturday, so like we were literally watching football all day long. Sunday came along and we had a couple more friends come over, but like really we were all just like so exhausted and tired.
I am definitely more of
throwing a few games.
I am definitely more of
Colts game.
I'm definitely more of a college football fan. My friend who's a Bears fan asked me, he goes, "Who would you rather have make the playoffs, Tennessee or the Bears?" And I thought about it for a minute, but I'm like, it would mean so much for Tennessee to make the playoff because it's so.
It would mean so much for the Bears.
Here's
to
the
make
thing,
the
though.
Playoff,
a lot of bad teams make the playoffs. Like, it would mean so much. It means a lot more to be in the top. Okay, would you rather have Michigan make the playoffs or the Colts make the playoffs?
I mean, I've had Michigan make the playoffs the past 2 years, so I know that glory, and I've seen the Colts make the playoffs before.
But like, it means so much more to make the college football playoffs.
It does, because like in the current final year of how it looks, to be in the top four. I
forgot they're expanding that.
I'm honestly excited for it.
Yeah,
for them to expand it.
I am
like
too.
Obviously it's cool to see like, oh, only the top four get in, and like they have to fight it out, for the national championship.
Well,
like
it used to be the top two.
It used to be the top two. But that part was kind of cool, but I'm very excited to open it up because like obviously it means more football and everything, but at the same time it also like it gives more teams more opportunities though.
What's also going to be so cool is on-campus playoff games. That's going to be so cool.
That's going to be lit.
Guys, maybe IU could host a college football playoff game. Dude, if they did though, that'd be so cool. But they probably won't ever. They'll probably never make them.
It's crazy to think that a Big Ten championship in the future could be IU versus UCLA.
I don't know.
For a Big Ten championship.
IU should have a Big Ten title from the COVID year, but they changed the rules for Ohio State. When they needed to, like when the Big Ten was like, you have to play 6 games to be qualified for the Big Ten championship, and Indiana was 6-1, and Ohio State was 5-0.
Yeah,
and then they just changed the rule for Ohio State.
Yeah,
there's like. Gave just a giant middle finger
just
to Indiana, which like I get why they did it because Ohio State made Indiana wasn't going to make the playoffs. Ohio State was, but still though, should have been Indiana Northwestern for that Big Ten title.
Yeah.
I mean, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Ohio State was the better team, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. I don't really have much more to add. I have to do something here at like 4, so. I'm gonna wrap this one up a little bit early. Next week's episode, though, is gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
we're gonna be previewing
week 4 is gonna be fun.
Maybe we'll dabble into baseball. We didn't get to baseball, but I don't know. The Cubs are still in a spot, and the Yankees still suck. So
I mean, the race for the wild card for the NL is a lot of fun to watch. I will say that.
Yeah, Cubs. Currently, they're playing in the 3rd game of a 3-game set against the 52-92 Rockies. They split the first 2 games. They're currently up 1-0 in the 3rd. So I'm not really too worried. If we really want to go over the wild card race for the NL, Phillies plus 3.5, Cubs plus 2. Diamondbacks hold the last spot.
Yeah.
And then
the Reds are down 1.
Reds are down 1. San Francisco, Miami only down 1.5 now.
It's a crazy race, honestly.
I just hope the Cubs can hold on, man. Yeah. I mean, I think they will, but they gotta hold on, man. I need Cubs playoff baseball back in my life.
Honestly, if the Cubs made it to the playoff, I'd probably have them as my team. Like that. That's who I would root for in this playoff. Like. Everyone else that's in it, it's like, okay. Like, also, I expected you to be there, So it's like,
we do have tragic news to share. The Chicago White Sox have officially been mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. You guys suck. God, do something better. Do something better with, that stacked team you had. God. They're such an embarrassment to baseball. Like,
God, they finished the year.
I hate Sox fans, bro. You don't know how
38% win percentage.
You don't know how much shit they talked after that one year they made the playoffs, and when the Cubs kind of had a down year.
Yeah,
it took 2 years for you to throw that all away and the Cubs to be better than you. Like, oh, they're so insufferable. They always talk about how it took the Cubs 100 years.
God.
Gives a fuck.
Yankees,
Get better.
Yankees are currently fighting with the Boston Red Sox for the third place slot from the third slot in the AL wildcard race. If that tells you how well things are going for us.
The Rays hold the top spot plus 8.5. Rangers, Mariners, Blue Jays, all a half game away from each other. 3 teams,
like Tampa
there's
Bay,
only 2 spots.
Yeah, Tampa Bay has secured a spot, so I mean they're gonna make it.
But all 3 of those teams, 80 and 64, 80 and 65, 80 and 65.
Yeah,
there are 3 teams, only 2 spots. I think the Mariners and Blue Jays get those spots.
I think the Rangers and the Mariners get the spots.
You think the Blue Jays are left on the outside?
I think so.
We'll see. We'll talk more about this when it gets closer.
I think so.
I'm gonna wrap this episode up. I'll be at the game in Indy for IU Louisville. That'll be fun.
Oh, that should have been the game that we did a pregame.
That should have done
a pregame episode.
Yeah.
Like I said, unfortunately, I can't make it to that game, so I won't be able to.
We'll see.
Do that. But
thank you guys for watching. I will see y'all around next time. Hopefully with video. There are some booths that might allow better video than this.
Yep.
So we'll see what we can do in terms of that.